and welcome yet again to another episode here at the Cardboard Cave podcast. I am one of your hosts, John Ramos, and here we're going to be talking about everything that was announced in Magic Con Las Vegas and giving our opinion in certain things that did happen as well throughout that weekend. So I'm not here alone, but before I present to you to all of our other team members and hosts, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not yet subscribed, and as well, comment below. Tell me if you love MagicCon or if you attended. A lot of people from TikTok did ask if we were there. Sadly, we weren't, but one of our team members, Orengo, was in New York Comic Con, and he will show some things that he got in New York Comic Con. And we're going to be actually talking about the announcement there as well of the Marvel collaboration. And don't forget, if you guys want to spice up your commander or decks, go to altersleeves.com/cardboard cave or use our affiliated code to get 10% off your order. All of the information is down below in the description. So we're going to go ahead and present all of the other team members that are with us today. We're going to present our favorite director that as well. He got an award for best director as well in the Lusca Film Festival. Here we go, the one and only Alejandro Orengo.
Yo, it was editing, but yes, I'm
I
also a
what?
director. You said
But I said
directing.
director. Oh,
Fine.
okay, my bad. Editing.
Let's go. Let's talk about the reveals and the stuff and the
Yeah.
controversies. I don't know. Maybe there was controversy. I don't know.
There was a lot of things happened throughout that weekend, and as well, let's go ahead and present our master of the dark arts and as well our master of the cube, the one and only JP.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up, JP? So, guys, MagicCon Las Vegas. If you guys, all of you know that we are not getting Grand Prix no more, so we're getting now MagicCon. Um, everybody's super excited when it's announced, and the thing is that a lot of people as well have been discussing that the dates that Wizard of the Coast chooses for these conventions are utterly weird, and our dates that the plane tickets are pretty expensive. But hey, it is what it is. But before we go to MagicCon, Ale, you were on New York Comic Con. You got to go
Yeah.
into the New York Comic Con Magic the Gathering panel that
Mhm.
they presented the Marvel Secret Layer Super Drop, the cards that will be available, and as well, they gave you some goodies that right now the prices for the counterspell and the jumbo cards are bonkers on eBay. But if you have not yet checked, dude, don't do it. So tell me, Ale, how was your experience in the panel? Did you enjoy it? And what were the goodies that they presented to you?
Okay, so the panel wasn't something you could reserve. Usually New York Comic Con, the really big panels, like for the Empire State, you have to like reserve them far in advance. And I couldn't find the panel when I was trying to reserve, and I got a little bit afraid because that meant it was going to be in a smaller venue. It was the 409, so people have gone before the Javits Center. Well, no, that's not like the biggest room. It's not even like the second biggest one. It's usually the 409 room, I think, or 406. Whatever. It's a very small room. So that my plan for that day, because they announced it on Friday. My plan was to go like a psychopath, every hour since I arrived, which I arrived at 10 a.m. The panel was at 3. I was going to be going every hour to the 4th floor to check if there was a line. I did that for 11, 12. When I got there at 1:30, it's like I was eating and stuff, I noticed a line forming. And I asked, what are you guys this panel for? Oh, I don't know. It's something interesting. I don't know. It's like, okay. So, because some people just literally do lines because they just want to go to random panels. And some of them they don't even know. So I started walking the panel, walking the line, and then I saw a couple of people playing standard. And I'm like, nope, I'm going to stay in this line now. So I stayed in the line. I was there for an hour and a half. Fabiola, like, I called her, like, you should try to get here as fast as you can because if they're not going to let you cut in line, I'm pretty sure. So she got there. We saw the panel. The panel was composed of some people I don't know and Krim. Krim was there randomly. I took a picture with Fabiola with Krim. I'm going to show that soon. Or you can put it there, like editing wise. You put it there.
Yeah.
So we saw Krim. Krim was super cool. He was super hyped. For people who don't know, and I didn't really know that well. He's like an avid Marvel fanboy, like hardcore. Like he's so into Marvel. It's crazy. Especially Doctor Strange. We're gonna get there soon. So essentially, they started spoiling The cards, if you go to our TikTok, I released one of the first ones breaking that news as fast as I could with the bad internet that they had at the Javits Center. I was trying my best to like keep you guys informed and let you know of the new cards. Um, so they talked about Captain America. They talked about Black Panther, Storm, Wolverine, and I am missing so an Iron Man. So there was
Iron Man, yeah.
5 cards. We knew some of them already because there was a leak earlier in the month where they kind of spoiled 4 of the cards, not the 5th one, which ended up being the spiciest one, which was Storm, which allows you to storm with her.
Yes.
It's kind of crazy. And the other thing we didn't know is that they were going to be bundled in a secret layer. So each of these cards comes packed in with 4 to 5 cards, maybe 6, depending on which secret layer you get, and they vary from how like effective they are with the commander itself. Some of them are more like for aesthetic purposes, like the Iron Man one just gives you like a soul ring, which kind of doesn't really interact with him, but it looks cool because it's the arc reactor as a soul ring. So there's some cool cosmetics that go along with it. They also talked about the potential of including Spider-Man. The reason why they didn't spoil Spider-Man is because Spider-Man is going to be their first new set. And as part of this deal, this is going to be a multi-year deal. The person who was representing Marvel talked about the fact that they don't want to do a one-off. This is not the idea to do a one-off. They know they have a rich history of potential new clients, but they didn't say it like that. They said potential fans that they know they can cross over into Magic. They probably did their research or market research, and they realized a lot of people that play Magic, they probably like Marvel, and vice versa. Potentially, a lot of people that like Marvel and like comics could probably go into Magic the Gathering because of this set. It's been proven time and time before. A lot of people that we know, John, have literally bought like Doctor Who cards or like Fallout cards just because they like the franchise itself, and they'll just buy the cards and maybe never play again, or some of them might get into Magic because of these franchises. So I think Marvel is banking on that for their cross collaboration with Magic the Gathering. What they didn't announce, I don't think they announced the fact that the Spider-Man set and the Universes Beyond set was going to be part of Standard. That came in the Magic Con. But as a last, like, before you leave, you're going to have a little freebie. The freebie was they gave us a comic book with the cover art of either Wolverine or Storm and Counterspell with the artwork of Doctor Strange in the cover in foil. So then we got a few goodies. Let's start with these. So, funny story. So when they started announcing the freebies that we're gonna get, they said that we were gonna get either a Wolverine or a Storm comic, but they didn't say comic. The way they worded it was weird, and we all assumed we were just gonna get like the actual card, and then they said no, but additionally you're gonna get some promos, which we're gonna get to soon. So a lot of people thought that we were gonna get a comic, and inside the comic we're gonna have the card. That was my assumption too. So for like a full day, I was thinking I had a Wolverine and a Storm card inside these comics, which by the way, they look amazing. I haven't opened them. I'm probably never gonna open them, but they look amazing. The cover's amazing. You can use them as sort of oversized if you want to build
as
your.
a comic book fan, I'm sure you're ecstatic to have.
Oh no! I love this. You're totally right. Yes, I'm an avid comic book fan. So
you should get, if you're not gonna open them, you should get them graded.
That's not a bad idea. I might do that. So yeah, we got one of each. So I was going down the line, and I went on the right side, and I was like telling Fabiola, try to like go after me so you can kind of like assess and try to get the other one, because again, we were assuming that we were gonna get a card inside these comics. So people were like straight up giving me money to try to get the Storm card, because as you guys don't know, so Storm basically has whatever Storm deals combat damage to a player, the next instant sorcery spell you cast this turn has Storm. So a lot of people already brewing this freaking card while we were in the panel.
Oh wow!
People thought that the card was inside. A lot of people thought this. So they were like straight up giving me money, and since I assumed the same thing, I was like, no, I'm gonna keep it. I like it. It's like an alternate version. Like it doesn't. It's like a sort of comic book cover version. It's sort of full RD. It's kind of cool.
Do you know what comic book is it, or is it just like a?
My assumption has to be it's sort of like either. Well, it says
one
Legacy.
Of the most recent stories.
I think it's one of the most recent stories of each. So it here has Legacy number 12. So it must be the Storm, whatever Storm currently is going on.
Yeah,
it's number 12, and this one's Wolverine 3 393. So
Okay.
it's probably the ongoing story of whatever
Yeah.
it is. Additionally, we got counter spells, which, as you can see, they're a little bit not straight anymore, just a little bit curved.
Have their foil?
They're foil. Yes, they're
Oh
foil. I
wow.
don't know if you can appreciate it, but yeah, they're a little bit
Yeah,
foil.
Yeah.
you appreciate
We got one of each. We were trying to get more, but so then they promised that for the next 2 days, meaning Saturday and Sunday, if you go from 10 to 10:30 to their booth, they were going to do like a sort of sweepstakes, and you might be able to get the comics and more of these. We couldn't make it on Saturday. We tried on Sunday. We got there very early on Sunday to try to get these, and by the time we got to the line, they were out of the comics because the freaking counter spells, they were out by Saturday. They had a
Man.
very limited amount of these counter spells. So my assumption is, and this is based on someone online on the line where we were waiting, talking about the cards. The cards have it says promo and it says PRMEN. His assumption is that they're not going to be completely exclusive. They might come
Okay.
either theoretically bundled with the secret layers they were gonna get
Okay.
from the Marvel whatevers, or they're gonna come down the line. Like he really assumes
Uh,
that these are not like inherently exclusive to the convention.
they were in the Magic Con.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So again, my assumption has to be that eventually it's gonna come down to the consumer. I
Oh
guess
yeah.
the people who want to buy it early, well, you can buy it early. Obviously,
Have
it's
you seen the
counterspell.
prices?
I think I saw like 90 or something. I don't know if it's less than 90.
Before, because the New York Comic Con was first,
Yeah.
and then the Magic Con, people didn't know that Magic Con was going to bring them.
Yeah.
So the prices were like $230
Yeah,
per
I
counter
saw.
spell.
It was crazy. Yeah.
190. It was like I didn't see a listing under 140.
Mm-hmm.
And
Damn.
as soon as they like gave a few in Magic Con, they dropped down, and I think it's still like 80 something.
Yeah, I mean, you know me. If this literally was something else other than that counterspell, I probably would have sold it. But the fact that it's counterspell, I'm like, I'm never gonna read of these. I
Yeah.
have them in every deck. But
So, just in case for all of our viewers, because I know JP wants to talk about one of the cards.
Mhm.
So the secret layer drop is going to be available on November 4th. Wow, that's my birthday. That's awesome.
nice, it's a great birthday gift.
I already told Carlos that I wanted them all, so that's fine. But this is the fun part. The fun part is that fans can receive. Oh, that's not what I wanted to. Okay, so here it is. So with each 199 spent on the Marvel Super drop, so that means that you can get them all. That's
Yeah.
all of them together. While supplies last, you can get an arcane signet that is the Avengers Tower.
Mhm.
So this is really cool. It's really cool. Like added in again, focused on Commander. So all of the prices are as well on their website. If you want them non-foil, 40. If you want them foil, is 50.
Yeah.
Being the
It's
fact that they're
rainbow foil too. So
rainbow
it's,
foil, my bad. Yeah.
yeah,
So you have 1, 2, 3, 4,
it's 5.
5 different
Mhm.
secret layers for 199. There, that I imagine that the foil version will be two. No wait, 199. So it will be 200. Yeah. So my bad. So if you
Mhm.
get all of them, I imagine that in the non-foil format, if you do get all of them as well, you will get the chance to get the arcane signet. Now JP wanted to talk about Wolverine. He said that
Yeah.
he likes something about Wolverine.
So I just want to address that the card Berserk is perfect for Wolverine as
Yeah.
a design standpoint because it's a Berserk and he is a Berserker.
Mhm.
It gives plus X+0 where X is the power, and you have to destroy it in the end step. But the
Mhm.
actual Wolverine card has regenerate.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No,
They-
they really thought of these cards.
This is
honestly.
they are very very well designed
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
pretty damn well balanced. Like the most broken one is obviously Storm.
Yeah.
So because the Storm mechanic is
Broken.
Stay.
Yeah.
It's broken. Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
yeah.
One of the things that if our viewers and fans go to our TikTok as soon as they presented Captain America, I started doing this segment on TikTok that it thanks for all of you too because it's been well received. That
Mhm.
is like infinite combos that from Magic the Gathering. So, but the first video that I posted is Captain doing 12 damage plus 14 more because of his ability, and it's using the card Excalibur.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, sure, but I was actually thinking about it, like, what does this mean? And then it's like, um, you can unattach an equipment, and depending on the CMC, the mana value, you
Hmm.
can deal damage to up to one, two, or three targets. So if you just choose one, Excalibur is a 12 mana value card, so it's 12 damage.
Yeah.
And then at the beginning of combat on your turn, you attach it again, and it gives plus test plus 10 plus 10 and vigilance. So you have a 14/14 vigilance Captain America going to your face.
I like it.
That's,
It's really cool.
I know, I love it.
And the cards included are great. Like
Yeah.
Cigar Nasade is I think it's called, or
Yeah, Cigar
So
Aid,
Cigar
Flawless
Nasade.
Maneuver.
Yeah,
Like
one of
the
the swords.
heroic intervention here.
Heroic Intervention is so
I'm
yeah,
pretty
heroic
sure the Black
intervention.
Panther one is like the weakest one.
I
Uh,
would say that one or the
I
Iron Man one, just because the Iron
no,
Man one.
Iron Man itself is strong enough by itself
Oh, for
in order to
sure.
hmm
be just better.
Yeah, of course, agree. Yeah, some of them when they, I feel like they kind of assess power level and they realize, okay,
I think
okay,
that
so
the
Iron Man,
that
yeah,
in the Iron Man Commander's Plate is the one that I think it gives like it's like the powerful card around the cards that are chosen for
yeah,
Iron
yeah,
Yeah,
Man
no, it's the
besides Iron
expensive
Man,
one. It's the
yeah,
expensive one for sure. Yeah.
you
Now,
know.
my question is because this is the only problem I have with the Secret Lair. As we've
hmm
known before, these are limited drops. They are not print to demand anymore. So my fear is that unless they reprint, I don't mind if they don't reprint the cards that accompany them because they're reprints and that's fine. Whatever. Like it's cool to have it as an exclusive for Secret Lair. But my fear is that we don't get to see these cards in another set. I hope
I
Okay.
that's not the case, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure, but I'm not 100% sure. It was addressed in MagicCon,
Hmm.
and they said that these might come out in future Marvel sets as like
Okay.
extra cards. I know they're not doing the list anymore, but like something along the lines of.
I mean, they could just
Okay.
print it in the
Uh,
Spider-Man set. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't need to be like a Magic in Universe version, I guess.
Yeah,
Because
but
the
in
thing is,
Spider-Man they can reprint Iron Man. They can
they can
reprint
reprint
Iron
whatever
Man
the
in
hell they want.
Spider-Man.
Because the thing is, so the in universe versions were done because these secret layers were inaccessible, and also because they weren't functional in any other format. Now with
Okay.
the with these universes beyond sets being actually, which is the other thing we need to address, they are playable in standard. That
Yeah.
means that there's no reason to, and sadly, there's no reason anymore to do an in-universe version of Iron Man. They can just print Iron Man there because, well, unless they don't want to make them standard
Standard
playable.
legal.
Yeah, maybe that's what they want to do. I don't know. I don't know what the
I
plan
don't
is.
think these like I don't think Storm should be standard legal.
Why not? Like at least for a week, just for a week, just one little week. Let's see what happens.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty
That'd be
sure.
kind of insane. You're right. That'd be kind of insane. I mean, can you imagine this stupid thing in standard too? Like, come on, it's crazy. But yeah, but hopefully they print it soonish. Because I feel like that's gonna get sold out immediately. Honestly, it should have been. This should have been the one that they didn't do print to demand because a lot of people are gonna buy this. It's very obvious. They could have just done a print to demand instead of a limited drop, and I'm pretty sure they would have made a
Uh,
bunch of money. A
Mark my
bunch.
words. Mark my
Yeah.
words. The
Go
site's
ahead.
gonna crash.
Oh, of course it's gonna. Of course, it's
They're,
so
they're,
obvious.
they're not gonna have enough infrastructure to handle
No,
this.
no, they're not gonna handle this. They're not gonna be able to handle this. Like the panel was filled with a lot of people that don't know anything about Magic. A lot of people were there just because it was Marvel related, not
Yeah,
Magic related.
I imagine it's like you mentioned, Ali. I think that Marvel did a study, like it started asking like random people on the street or making those call it
Surveys.
study groups, study groups. Like, hey, would you play Magic the Gathering if Marvel was part of it, or if there was like a Marvel set? And they were like, yeah, sure, I will love to do this. And that's the thing. Now that you already touched bases of Universe Beyond, before we touch anything announced in Magic Con, let's talk about the big elephant in the room. Universe Beyond sets are going to be part of Standard. So, what does that mean? I don't know if this means that Lord of the Rings is going to be part of it already and
No,
everything. No?
no,
Okay, good.
it's
Thank
going
God.
forward. So it starts with Final Fantasy.
Oh, it starts with Final Fantasy? Okay,
Mhm.
that's good. But now, let's go a little bit further. Let's put tinfoil hats.
Mhm.
What would have happened if this announcement would have been done in Lord of the Rings? One of the most powerful sets in Universe Beyond, where we had the One Ring, we had the Nazguls, we
Mhm.
had Bowmaster, and I think I'm missing another card, but I don't know. I don't have it in the top of my head. But imagine if they would have not, if they would have said, yeah, all of the Universe Beyond cards are going to be part of Standard, all of them, no questions asked.
They probably
That
would
would
have
have
pre-banned some stuff already. I think.
obviously
The One
Bowmaster
Ring.
would be the first one.
No, the One Ring.
No, the One Ring would
The
have been the
One
first one.
Ring,
The
The
Orcish
the
One
first
Bowmaster
one.
would have been the second
We,
one.
we can
That is
talk,
the card
we
that
can
was
talk
missing.
about
The One Ring, yeah.
like we could talk about whether the One Ring or the Bowmasters is stronger for like that's another that's a whole as conversation.
That's another topic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
but
now,
I don't feel I feel like this hypothetical falls on its feet mostly because I kind of feel like because Lord of the Rings was print to modern directly, it was them dipping their toes in terms of uh, design space as to what is good, what is strong, what is flavorful. Because we still have to think about Magic the Gathering is a game, and things are designed to be in the game. We just talked, as like I just talked about Wolverine and the card Berserk being a very good flavor win, and we just mentioned that the One Ring is like extremely powerful, just like in in the Lord of the Rings.
Mhm.
So a lot of these things are like just it's too hypothetical. I feel like it would have been a problem if Lord of the Rings wasn't standard, but I feel like they should be better for it now.
Yeah.
They designed
so
their sets around 2 years in advance, and that means that they've designed the next year by the time Lord of the Rings was coming out, and they were getting their gauge as to the fan reaction. So I think
so
it's
Mhm.
around there that they decided that they're going to do this.
But they didn't take into account how powerful the One Ring was. Remember, because that was part of the
mhm.
issue. The One Ring was a design that they did like at the last minute, so they couldn't account for how the One Ring would react in Modern because they were probably assuming it was not going to be played in Modern at all. It clearly seemed like a Commander card.
But it's not.
Oh no, it's definitely. And you know what? I think also putting like speculation and conspiracy theories on here. I think that the reason why they're doing the Universes Beyond now for standard going forward has to do a lot with how well received Lord of the Ring was, but how underwhelming Assassin's Creed was. So I think they realized, okay, so this didn't work so much, so the smaller sets obviously don't work, and this wasn't as powerful. But if Assassin's Creed would have been in standard, that probably would have been played far more because the
But
power level is not the same.
you know what was the issue with Assassin's Creed?
Mhm.
A
The
lot of
issue with
people just
Assassin's
There's a
Creed
lot of
was that
Creed.
it was a small set. And the thing is that they already did tested the waters with small sets with the aftermath
Yeah.
set. And that didn't work. That didn't work. And that's why what my question was like I have friends that have one day I went with a group of friends. One of them is John, the our new team member.
Mhm.
We went to a hot topic in here in Ponce, and he saw the booster pack because hot topic now is selling Lorcana, Magic, and Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he saw the Assassin's Creed booster pack, and I'm like, don't buy it. If you're gonna buy Assassin's Creed, just buy singles if you want to collect it.
Yeah.
You know, buy them little by little. Don't even waste your money on buying a booster pack. And I think that if Wizard of the Coast did test the waters with Aftermath, they shouldn't have done it with Assassin's Creed. They should
It
have
was
just did a
late because,
full
like
blown
you
set.
said, but that's the thing. You already said it. They planned so far in advance that by the time they realized Aftermath was a mistake, it was too late to backtrack. Because
Okay.
that's why they did the big score was also supposed to be a mini set, and they had enough time to kind of like bundle it up with Outlaws, but it was too late for Assassin's Creed. It was going to come out the way it was, and they were
Okay.
probably thinking, well, maybe the IP sells itself. And then when it didn't, I think they finally realized, no, if we're doing this, we got to do like big sets, sort of like Lord of the Rings, and we need to implement it into standard, which is a whole other kind of
Hmm.
worms when you think about it, because then the power level might not be as strong unless they also print commander decks and company like cloud decks or freaking Sephiroth decks, or I don't know.
You know what's the bad part? And I'm not saying that it's
Mm,
bad.
yeah.
Because at least in here in Puerto Rico and in the States, Schwartz is not like fully played. I think that in the States there is like big communities for the card game Schwartz.
Mhm.
That it's the video game anime type of card game.
Yeah.
Um, but Wizard of the Coast is like saying to all of these other card games, like, hey, be careful because we're going to be taking all of y'all money
Mhm.
no matter what. So they are starting with these like video game and comic book IPs, but later on we will see because anime cards are being very popular now
I mean,
in these
look at
upcoming
Foundations.
sets
They made a lot of the alternate versions are anime
for
cards.
our
In
anime cards.
Dustmorn también pasó lo mismo.
Exacto. You know, and that's the thing. So what does that mean? That means that in the future we might have, I don't know, popular anime now, Dandadan.
That,
Dandadan.
hell, even the Catholic Church recently revealed their their
Ooh.
their, their new mascot, and
It's an anime girl.
it's an anime and it's an anime girl.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
It's
It's
funny.
hilarious.
But
Yeah.
in the end, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that having Universe Beyond now, moving forward from Final Fantasy on, being part of standard, do you guys think that it's going to be affecting the metagame, or is it just something like, hey, we're going to have more cards, we're going to have our normal standard sets, and once in a while we'll have a Universe Beyond added into the standard meta? What do you
I
guys
I
think?
think I think that they did such a good job with Foundations that they're going to screw it up by having Universes Beyond, because it's going to be too confusing for a lot of players to keep up, and it's way more sets than standard players are used to, because now we're including two extra sets per year, I guess,
Yeah.
maybe three. That's a lot to keep track of, especially for a standard player. Since the whole idea of trying to restart the standard metagame is to kind of make it, I guess, a little bit more affordable. But if it becomes prohibitively expensive because of all these cards, and you gotta understand, like, fine, maybe the foundation set becomes like has a bunch of cheap cards, and maybe, I don't know, the Aether one where it's like cars and stuff becomes like a cheap set. It's not that expensive.
Hmm.
But then you go into Final Fantasy, and then Cloud becomes a deck, and then the problem with Cloud is that, you want to build it for a deck, but then a lot of normies just want to get Cloud to put them in their binders because they love Final Fantasy. So it's gonna make the card prohibitively expensive
Yep.
to the people who actually want to play with the damn card. So I don't know. JP, sorry.
I think this is good,
Okay.
but also I feel like the pace they need to take is not the pace they're going to take. I feel like because Universes Beyond is going to be a thing and they're going to be printing these standard sets, I kind of feel like like they should slow down and space them out more. Not because it's gonna make them, because they're thinking that I feel like this they're gonna make a lot of money immediately, and not thinking on long term money because the money's still gonna be there.
Yeah.
If they make a standard set every 3 months, that's what, 4 sets per year. That's still a lot of sets.
I think it's way more. It's gonna be way more than that.
I know it's gonna be a
I
lot
think it's
more
going to
than
be way
that.
more. Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
it is going to be a lot more.
it's gonna be more. Yeah.
And the only downside, but also in a way it can be an upside to this, is that the main storyline and main ways Magic story or like Magic as a whole
Mhm.
moves forward will be like it'll be halted. I'm pretty sure Lorwyn got like the Return to Lorwyn got pushed back to like 2026.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this can be a good thing because it can actually get them to actually write a better story instead of just having the Praetors die in one set, which didn't work out when they did their big bad last year.
Yeah.
And then they set up like Nicol Bolas after a few decades, like like a decade. They set up the Eldrassis for a good while. They just kind of killed off the Phyrexians as Magic was like starting up.
Hmm.
So the story can help the pace of the game. But if they keep the game too fast paced and keep producing too many sets, then I feel like a lot of people will just like lose interest as they have been doing. There's just too many cards. I was talking to one of my friends recently, and he's like, "Wait, that came out when in this last set? There's too many cards," and that's gonna be even more of a problem. The thing is, if you would have told 2020 Japes, like 2020 me, if if Universes Beyond was a good thing, I would have said no. But I think now we gotta get with the times and understand that Magic the Gathering is gonna become the Fortnite of card games, and
Yep.
you
Yeah.
gotta be okay with that.
Yeah.
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 So, all of our listeners or viewers, there's this. These are all of our opinions for Universe Beyond and Standard. Now, this is going to be a quick bit because these were just simple announcements in MagicCon Las Vegas. So they announced a couple of things, a couple of sets,
Hmm.
some sets that we have already announced, as the Spider-Man one and Final Fantasy. But they as well mentioned that on January 24th, 2025, we will get Magic the Gathering Innistrad Remastered. Sad, very interesting part is that you can already pre-order Innistrad Remastered and basically everywhere. So
Yeah.
they only presented an artwork. I think that the artwork was Liliana, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It was only Liliana. As well, from there, they presented a new set that's called Aether Drift. So, in this set, we're gonna get our Fast and the Furious secret layer as well. Um,
We're gonna get
so
wacky racers, bro. Remember wacky
yeah,
racers?
wacky racers, yeah.
We're gonna get.
So they presented three cards. They did presented a couple of cards as well, but with no effects nor name.
Yep.
So those if I find the artwork, I will crop them or edit them to post them on our TikTok. So pay attention to our TikTok, guys. We are about to reach 3,000 followers. Um so they presented these three cards: Bright Glass Gear Hulk, Diretti, Rocketeer Engineer, and Earth Rumbler. These are the cards that were presented in in MagicCon. A lot of people when they presented these cards, I remember in the chats that I am in our in the local game store that we go. They were like, I am getting into Standard just because of the Gear Hulk. So this will be released February 14th. So hey, if you have a husband or boyfriend and they like Magic the Gathering, there you go. You can
Say
get them a bundle, a
my
very
birthday
lovely
is
bundle.
February 17th.
Oh, awesome! You can gift
Nice.
JP Aether Drift cards as well. They presented a couple of artworks as well. That's something that they did mostly in Magic Con. Give me
Hmm.
one quick second. As well, they presented Tarkir Dragonstorm that will release in April 4. They did present in a couple of artworks as well. I'm really happy that we're going back to Tarkir. It's one of my favorite sets. I think that yeah, this was one of the sets that I actually got into I started getting into Commander and Magic
Hmm.
as well. And then we go. Final Fantasy the Universe Beyond set will be released on June 13th,
Oh damn!
2025.
Released from the original Final Fantasy 7 to the recently released Final Fantasy 16. Wow, that's crazy. That's a lot. Yeah,
Jesus.
I'm probably gonna get a lot of these cards. I like
Same
Final
here.
I
Fantasy.
Same
expect
here.
a lot of legendaries, like a lot.
Yeah, yeah,
A
yeah.
lot. Yeah.
I really like Final Fantasy a lot. So yeah, they got me with this one.
Um.
Darn it.
As well, in during MagicCon, Magic the Gathering Japan presented most of the artwork for Final Fantasy. So if you guys want to look for them, in the Twitter page of Magic the Gathering Japan, it will be available there. This is another set. Jesus, another set. Edge of Eternities will be released on August 1, 2025. All of these are for next year. There
See,
we go.
these are too many. If you
It
go back,
is.
like one set's coming out
It's crazy.
in February,
February, April.
No,
March, then April.
it starts January,
No,
then
no, no. So
February.
no, because Innistrad doesn't count. Like we're talking about the first one would be
Oh,
the
Innistrad. Okay.
Aether Drift, whatever.
April is
Yeah,
That's
February.
that's
February. So
February.
that's one.
A month in between, and a whole set in
Park
April.
here.
A month
It's
in between,
April.
a whole set in June.
There's
A
Final
month in
Fantasy.
between, a whole set in August.
You got yeah,
And I'm
and then
assuming a
you got
month in
Spider
between
Man, which is gonna be
and
this
a
year. They said
whole
this
set
year.
in October.
Yeah, it's gonna be this Spider Man's gonna be this year, and there's probably still missing a standard set. Another
Yeah,
standard
look,
set.
they
There's
said
probably,
to be announced Universe Beyond releases,
bro. This is six. This
bro.
is six sets. This is six
and
sets
then
for standard.
what everybody wanted, a secret
Oh,
layer from SpongeBob SquarePants.
yeah.
I'm
Let's
actually
go.
actually SpongeBob is generational.
That's true.
At this point,
That's,
everyone
Yeah.
has seen SpongeBob and knows about it.
that's true. Smart.
I interviewed the Latino that voices him in
Mhm.
Spanish. So yeah,
Oh, that's
it is
great.
generational. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but guys, but giving our final thoughts in all of this conundrum, and as well, I know that JP, what was the change that they did on combat phase?
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think we should just cover this in an additional video.
Okay, so we can
Mhm.
cover that next week. So we can talk about that
Go-
next week. So now, giving our final thoughts. Final thoughts. What are your opinion in regards to all of these sets? And do you think that it's? No, I'm not thinking. I think that we're all in the same page. These are too much sets. They're not giving us a break to breathe, and that is not mentioning the secret layer drops that fall in these releases
Mm-hmm. And the commander product
and the
and
commander
whatever the
product.
master set they do, because obviously they're gonna do like a type of master set,
Yeah, they will.
whatever they do. I think it, like you said, it's too much. We already had like I think 2 solid years of having too much product, and I think I don't know if they see the repercussions. Maybe they don't care. Maybe the numbers are strong where they can keep doing this. The only benefit I see, since we were talking about earlier, we're talking about Assassin's Creed, right? I
Yeah.
don't know if you guys remember, I wanted to get Edward Kenway because I wanted to make a pirate deck. And I remember
Mhm.
when the card came out, it was at $30. And I was like, screw that. That's a jank card. I don't understand why it's $30. I checked right now in TCG Player. The baseline version is going for $7. So clearly, it's a benefit for the consumer because by having so many products, by the time the next two products come up, that product that you were kind of interested in or you wanted to buy some cards from is going to be like down the gutter in terms
Mhm.
of value, which sucks for people who actually want to collect these things or whatever. But I guess that's the reason why they're creating alternate versions of specialty cards and 200 Japanese rainbow foil, shiny foil, gold foil versions of these cards. So you can just get the baseline version. You want to play with it. You want to get the collectible version. It'll probably not go down too much down in value, theoretically. So I guess it's beneficial for the consumer because if you want to get something, you can just wait a bit and probably get the cards. But I agree with you. If you are, especially if you want to get into standard, like that's 6 sets you need to keep track of. So you make sure that your deck doesn't basically get outranked, out power
Yeah.
crept or whatever. Or if you need to include certain cards from every set to like boost your deck, might be sideboard cards or might be like a whole new ass deck. Might be a little bit hard for people who are you're proposing the idea of like, let's get back into standard, let's make standard viable again, and then including 6 new sets coming right after foundations. I don't know, it seems like a tough ask. I don't mind having product, it's cool because right now I feel like you just pick and choose whatever the hell you want to
Yeah.
get. But it has gone to the point that I'm kind of unable to keep up. I swear I think I bought like one random booster of Dustmorn. I don't know anything about what happened with Dustmorn. Like it already came and went, and it's not even Halloween yet. We're shooting this on the 30th, by the way. It's not even Halloween yet, and already they did Dustmorn. So yeah.
Yeah, same here. I agree with Ale. I didn't get anything from Bloomboro. I didn't get anything from. I think I got one booster of Bloomboro and one of Dustborn, and I don't know anything else because when I went to these small conventions that all of the malls in Puerto Rico are doing now,
Yeah.
I was planning on getting the Dustborn bundle, the one that had like the secret layer card inside. But when I asked the vendor, like, "Hey, how much is that the bundle?" He's like, "Oh, it's $90." I looked at him. I'm like, "What? $90?" "Oh no, it's fine. Don't worry about it." I went to another store that had them as well, and they were like, "Oh, it's $80." I'm like, "What?" When I checked in TCG Player, they're going for $70. I'm like, when did this go up so fast? You know, and but yeah, I'm not. I have been like so lost in terms of like these upcoming sets. Uh, I think it's too much product to be following. I know about Secret Lair due to that Carlos buys them. Hey, he always asks us in our group chat, like, "Hey, I'm planning on getting this Secret Lair. Are you guys looking for something?" And then we're like, "Yeah, sure, no." But I did tell him like, "Hey, I do want the Marvel one.
Yeah.
I want those because I just want to have them,
Mhm.
especially the reprints like Jeskai Will, the Ozolith, those reprints I really do would like them in that artwork.
Mhm.
But yeah, in my opinion, I think it's too much product. I agree with Orengo in this case. I think that it's overwhelming if you're trying to bring people to standard because yeah, probably Foundation can give you a decent standard deck, but in time you would need to upgrade it or make a new one to be
Yeah.
part like to be relevant in like the metagame. But that is my cup of tea. How about you, JP? What do you think?
No, I agree, and like I mentioned, I feel like this would be a lot better if they could just pace it down a bit.
Yeah.
Just so,
Yeah.
just a teensy bit. You don't even have to like. I don't feel like you even have to do the whole month, additional month. Because I mentioned like 3 months, and they're doing like 1 month, and then no month, and 1 month. Just do like a bit, like half a month more. Half a
Mm-hmm.
month more means one less set,
Yeah.
Yeah.
a bit more breathing room.
Mhm.
That half that those 2 weeks, those two extra weeks are preview season. There,
Yep.
like just a bit more, just a bit more. Let us breathe.
Mhm.
I agree.
Like your consumers' wallets cannot keep up.
I completely agree. I completely agree. So guys, are these your final thoughts in regards to what's going on?
Yeah, no, that's it for me. I
Yeah,
think like yeah, what JP said was pretty accurate. I mean, it's kind of cool these sets, whatever. Like the Aether Drift seems kind of silly, but we already got Dustmore, which was silly, and I guess we're just
Hmm.
gonna go into silly territory from now on. So I guess that's
Yeah.
okay. uh, I'm just gonna focus on getting the stuff that I like and whatever. Commander,
Singles.
like
Singles.
yeah,
That's what
like
it is.
Commander's what I played mostly, and now Commander's going through a big shift. So I'm just waiting to
Yeah.
see like the first steps
The
into that new
tears, the tears,
process,
the
the
tears.
tier
What's gonna
system or
happen?
whatever, so I can readjust my whole decks because I have a bunch of decks in my room I still haven't touched because I was waiting for like what they're gonna say and we're gonna like solidify, the
Yeah.
idea they're gonna go pull through. So yeah.
uh,
So Hmm.
Mark, in terms of that, you said the silly sets real quick. Mark Rosewater mentioned that there was a disconnect between the themes and the design with Dustmorn, and they're going to be more conscious about that moving forward. So we can expect that there might be, like at least in the themes, the disconnect will be the same in like this next set in the Aether Rift, in
Hmm.
the Aether race, but I'm pretty sure the Eternity set will be fine.
I,
So
I hope
let's
because
let's see.
like the cowboys were silly, and just having the
The
detectives
hats
was
were
kind of silly.
silly.
The hats are
But
Now,
silly.
now,
it's just this whole year has been like silly sets.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
it
all been
has.
like unsets. It's been like real life unsets, which is
Yeah,
bizarre.
I agree.
So yeah, I hope like if Mark Warsaw is kind of conscious about this, I'm glad because and again, you guys know I'm not like the lore guy. I don't care about the lore, but it always felt cohesive when you were playing Magic the Gathering. Like
Hmm.
even if it was like a set from 30 years ago and a set from today, they all kind of they made sense in the same universe. Like even if
Exactly.
it went a little bit too gothic or if it went a little bit too cyberpunky or a little neon-y or whatever, cyberpunky or whatever, at least they all kind of felt like it was coming from the same universe, the same
Hmm.
like from different planes, but the same universe. Now it's just like cars, really?
Now
TVB,
it's like we're gonna have Vin Diesel in a
bro.
card in a secret lair. He's gonna be like family.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. I don't know. Yeah. I hope that at least for the mainline stand like modern sets, I'm sorry, magic sets, they kind of like pull back a little bit and just make it more I don't know, like timeless. That's the cool thing about Magic. Magic
Yeah.
feels timeless because they used to pull from classic literature, classic stories. Again, Eldritch horror functions because that's like classical. It's sort of modern or postmodern, but it's still like sort of classical, and it kind of fits well with this fantastical nature of this world and this universe. But like people in a plane that's a desert and they're all just cowboys, and that's literally it, just literal cowboys. It's weird.
Doing crime. That's it.
Crime. Yep.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. So if you guys, all of our viewers and listeners, comment below. Tell us your thoughts about all this conundrum and craziness that's happening with Wizard of the Coast. Give us your cup of tea. What do you guys think about this craziness? Now, saying to the round table, JP, where can the people find you?
You can find me here in the Cardboard Cave podcast. How about you, Orengo?
You can find me here talking about delicious, expensive cardboard and a lot of cardboard we're gonna eat next year. But you can also find me in our podcast. What about you, John?
Well, you guys can find me here in Cardboard Cave podcast as well. I will be co-hosting the Put It on the Table podcast as well. I'm just gonna be that person that does not know jack squat about board games and be asking questions like that. You guys can get into board games with John, the other John. Sheesh, we're gonna have so many Johns now. But as well, you guys can follow me in Real in Films, where I do movie reviews and interviews and much more. So, thank you all for watching or listening to us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below, and follow us in all of our social media here at the Cardboard Cave Podcast. And we will see you guys in the next one.